Bridge to Terabethia Alternate Reality by Nikhil Massey, Francis Massey. Prologue. The shift between worlds. Francis, a young man from an alternate universe, finds himself in a reality not his own. He wakes up disoriented and confused in a dense, familiar forest. The same forest he had once seen in the movie Bridge to Terabethia from his world. He has no memory of how he arrived there or why. But one thing becomes clear. This is no ordinary place. It is Terabethia, but not as he remembers it. This world is somehow different, with oddities and mystical elements that suggest it's a realm where anything is possible. In his world, Bridge to Terabethia was a work of fiction, a story told through both the novel and the movie. But to his shock, he is now walking in the very forest that once existed only in the pages of a book and on a movie screen. As Francis explores this new reality, he encounters Jess Aarons, a version of the boy from the movie who seems just as familiar yet oddly distant. Jess is not the same Jess that Francis knew from his world, but there's a connection. Jess is living a life of grief and confusion, still mourning the loss of his best friend Leslie, who tragically drowned in the river. Through Jess's broken words, Francis learns that Leslie is gone, and the pain of her loss still haunts Jess daily. This only fuels Francis's resolve to search for her. But the forest's strange, mystical property suggests something far more complex than mere grief. Francis begins to suspect that Leslie's death might not have been what it seemed. Chapter 1. Discovering the alternate Leslie. Francis, driven by his love for Leslie, who he had admired from the moment he watched Bridge to Terabethia in his world, sets out to find her, believing that this version of Leslie has somehow become trapped in this alternate reality. As he ventures deeper into the forest, he's drawn by a sense of familiarity and a connection he can't explain. The world itself seems to bend around him, as if the universe is trying to show him something. Through the mist, he eventually sees her, a figure standing alone, walking in the distance. Leslie. However, to his surprise, this Leslie isn't the one from his world. This Leslie doesn't know Jess, and she doesn't seem to recognize Francis either. She's different. This Leslie, as Francis learns, has never known the world of Terabethia the way he did. She has no memory of Jess, no history with him. In this universe, Leslie's parents had moved to this strange town, and Jess's house had been abandoned long ago. She's lived a life untouched by Jess. As they talk, Francis realizes that Leslie is from an alternate version of Terabethia. She's an alternate version of the girl he once loved, a girl who never met Jess, and whose life took a completely different path. She has no memory of the tragic events he's familiar with, no recollection of the magic she once created with Jess in the other world. Chapter 2. The Truth About the Mist and the Portals. Leslie slowly explains the mysteries of this world, the mist, the forest, and the strange town where they now find themselves. She tells Francis that this forest is a gateway to countless alternate realities universes where different versions of people, places, and events exist. The mist acts as a portal, and each time you walk through it, you enter a new dimension, a new world. It's not just a physical passage, it's a journey through infinite possibilities. Leslie also reveals that she's been searching for answers herself. She's discovered that the mist doesn't only transport people to other places, it bends the very fabric of reality. Every time someone walks through it, they might end up in a completely different world. Sometimes they end up in a version of the world they know. Other times they end up in a place that's unrecognizable, a world far removed from anything they can comprehend. This theory excites Francis, and though he's still desperate to return home to his reality, he's equally intrigued by Leslie's presence in this world. The more they talk, the more Francis realizes that he has a deep connection with this alternate version of Leslie, a connection he cannot explain. He's deeply in love with her, even though this version of Leslie is unaware of the bond they once shared in the world he came from. Chapter 3. Leslie and Francis, a growing bond. As days turn to weeks and weeks into months, Francis and Leslie grow closer. Despite the complexities of their circumstances, there's something undeniable about the connection between them. Francis feels a deep affection for Leslie, even though she's not the same girl from his original world. She's different, yes, but she still carries the same spark of intelligence, creativity, and kindness. In fact, Francis's love for Leslie grows more profound with each passing day. It's a feeling that transcends the confusion of their circumstances, a love born out of an unspoken bond that transcends dimensions. She becomes his anchor in this strange reality, and he in turn becomes her protector, someone who's there for her through every mysterious turn of events. Chapter 4. The Shifting Universes. A world of endless possibilities. Each time they walk hand in hand into the mist, the world around them shifts. Every universe they enter is unique, sometimes full of wonder, other times filled with danger and uncertainty. The changing realities begin to feel like home in a strange, fluid way. No matter where they go, no matter what world they land in, Leslie and Francis are always together. Their bond is constant, a tether that holds them firm in the face of overwhelming change. In one world, they find themselves in a city populated by strange creatures and magical beings. In another, they discover a universe where everything is underwater, and the forests are like giant floating coral reefs. Each universe presents its own challenges and mysteries. But through it all, Francis and Leslie continue to grow closer. They learn more about each other, about themselves, and about the world they inhabit. Over time, their bond deepens into something more than companionship. They fall in love, not just as a response to the isolation and strangeness of their situation, but because they've truly found something in each other that transcends the impossible circumstances surrounding them. Their shared adventures become a testament to their love. Chapter 5. A New Life Together, the Start of a Family. Eventually, after years of shifting between worlds, Leslie and Francis find a universe where they can finally settle down, a world where they can create something of their own, away from the constant shifting of realities. This world feels like home to them. They build a life together, filled with the joy and comfort of knowing that they are not just wandering anymore, but living. They marry in a quiet ceremony, surrounded by the natural beauty of their new home. With time, they start a family. Their children are raised with the same sense of wonder and adventure that defined their parents' lives. They inherit a legacy of exploration and love that knows no bounds. Epilogue. The happy ending. In the end, Leslie and Francis live happily ever after. They find peace and stability in the universe they've chosen, though they never forget the incredible journey that brought them together. The mist no longer calls them to new worlds. Instead, they create their own adventures with their children, passing on the lessons they've learned and the love they've shared. The infinite universes still exist, waiting for them to explore, but for now they are content. Their love, born in the realms of myth, magic, and mystery, has become something solid, something real, and it will continue to grow for as long as they both shall live. The end. Story by Nikhil Massey.